Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this webinar from the location E.ON Rotterdam. First of all, I would like to welcome you to the Netherlands because I think most of you are already in the Netherlands. My name is Arti Pancham. I'm going to inform you about the E.ON student insurance, why you need an insurance, what the coverage is of the E.ON student insurance, how it works with rules, regulations and laws here in the Netherlands when your insurance position changes, and about healthcare and how you can claim. I'm here with my colleague Rob. Rob is going to moderate also and is a colleague of mine. First of all, we will start with a short video about the E.ON student insurance. Thank you.
Are you coming to the Netherlands to study or do an internship? An exciting time in which you'll get to experience new perspectives and cultures, spend time with the locals, and get immersed into their way of living. But what if something less exciting happens, like getting sick? But aside from getting sick, there are other bad things which could happen. The E.ON student insurance is for non-EU and EU or EEA students. Mind you, if you're an EU or EEA student and you have a European health insurance card, before going to the Netherlands, check how and for how long you'll be insured in the country. If you're an EU or EEA student, we'd advise you to get additional or full insurance, depending on your circumstances. You can find out more about this on our website. If you get a part-time job or paid internship, that also changes things. You'll be expected to adjust your own insurance to ensure that it matches your new situation. Arrange everything beforehand so you can leave for your studies or internship without any worries. The advice module on our website will tell you everything you need to know for your own personal situation. If you have any more questions, please take a look at our website. You can also reach us by telephone, email, chat, or see our FAQ.
Well, I hope the video gave you some insight into the insurance and how it works here. I will start the insurance, but before we start the presentation, sorry, I have to say, this session will be recorded, so let you know that. Well, can I have the next slide, please? First of all, I would like to inform you about who is E.ON and what do we do, and with which company you have your insurance, if you already purchased the insurance. If not, well, E.ON is an international advisory risk management and an insurance broker. You may know us from your home country. We have 500 offices worldwide and approximately 50,000 employees in the Netherlands. No, worldwide, I have to say, not in the Netherlands. We have 13 offices in the Netherlands, and the headquarters is in Rotterdam, where I'm based and Rob is based right now. We have a multilingual student services team which can answer all your questions by email, by telephone or by chat. We are a partner of all universities here in the Netherlands and most universities of applied sciences in the Netherlands, and we have served over 450,000 students over the last decade. And it could be very well that if you get in contact with an international student from another university, that he or she also has the E.ON student insurance. Which insurance do you need? Here in the Netherlands, your insurance position is based on your individual position. I will explain to you certain situations. If you are a European student, EEA student with a European health insurance, without a European health insurance card, you need to take out the E.ON Complete Plus insurance. It says in the presentation with an EHIC card, but it should be without an EHIC card. Then you should take out the full coverage, that's the E.ON Complete Plus insurance. And If you are an EEA student and you do have the European Health Insurance card, then you can take out an additional coverage that's called the Aon Start Plus insurance. And in one of the later slides, I will elaborate on the coverage and how it works. The whole situation changes altogether, and then it doesn't matter if you are an EEA student or a non-EEA student. Once you start working here in the Netherlands and you do have a paid part-time job for which taxes are deducted from your salary, it's mandatory for you to change your insurance to the Dutch basic healthcare insurance. And you can keep your Aon Start Plus insurance because that gives you coverages that are not part of the Dutch basic healthcare insurance. And the same goes for paid internships. If you are going to have a paid internship as part of your study here in the Netherlands and you are earning more than the Dutch minimum wage, and I think the Dutch minimum wage is nowadays approximately 1,600 euros, then you're also obligated to take out the Dutch basic healthcare insurance. And again, we recommend you take out the Aon Start Plus insurance. If you have an EHIC card, a European Health Insurance card, it's important to know that the EHIC card only supplies you with basic coverage and emergency coverage for a short period of time, the period of an emergency. Even the European Commission gives advice on this. It is not an alternative to travel insurance or to any additional insurance, and it does not cover any private healthcare costs or costs such as a return flight to your home country or lost or stolen property from your student room or your apartment. If you are in the Netherlands with a EHIC card, it does not cover costs if you are traveling to the Netherlands for the purpose of obtaining medical treatment. Again, it's only an emergency coverage. And lastly, but very important to know, it does not guarantee free services. Each country's healthcare system is different. And services that may be covered in your home country or may not be covered in your home country may be covered in the Netherlands. And if you want to have a reimbursement for that, it could be that it won't be paid back to you because there is no coverage in your own home country. So be aware of that EHIC is only an emergency coverage and it is for a short period of time. Especially when you're going to stay longer here in the Netherlands for your study, we recommend you take out additional insurance or even the full insurance, the Complete Plus insurance. The European Health Insurance card, well, I said it before, emergency coverage only. The card must be obtained back in your home country before coming to the Netherlands or going to another country. You need to check your EHIC insurance before you leave your home country because the time of coverage is limited for each country. It's not the same coverage for every country, and there's not the same amount of time of coverage for each country. So some countries only have a coverage of 3 months, other countries have a coverage of 12 months, and some European countries don't even cover you abroad. If you are above a certain age or if you are going to study in your home country, in another country. If you have an EHIC card and you are coming to the Netherlands and you want to use it, it could be that you need to claim with your EHIC insurer in your home country first before getting your reimbursement. Well, why is it so important to have an insurance when you are traveling abroad for study purposes? Well, you guys are probably going to be here for at least 6 months, and some of you may be here for a full bachelor or full master or both. Then it's very important because we have seen that the experience is that when a calamity breaks out and students are not insured, that they are faced with high costs which they have to pay themselves. We've had, of course, the COVID-19 calamity, and it's all fresh in our minds what happened back in March 2020 here in the Netherlands. There were a lot of students that were not insured and got infected and needed medical care. Because they were not insured, they needed to pay that out of their own pockets. Well, that gave insight to a lot of students that they needed to be prepared if they go to another country. And apart from that, the Netherlands has high healthcare costs. So if you are faced with paying yourself, well, think again, guys. I really recommend you to take out additional coverage. To give you examples, specialist consults in the Netherlands are approximately €100 per 10 minutes, and that's only the consult. That's no blood work, no examinations, nothing at all. It's only the consult you have with the specialist. If you need to have an X-ray or you need to have a scan, well, if you need to pay that out of your own pocket, think again. Around €80 for X-rays and scans, starting at €800, depending on which scan you need to have. A hospital bed is approximately €750 per night. And if you are faced with an ICU bed, that's probably around €2,500 a night. So very high costs if you're not insured. Well, again, travel costs are not covered if you don't have an insurance, if you need to go back home in case of an emergency. And even for EEA students, because that is something students often think, that because they are European, that all their costs will be paid for by their home country or the country they're visiting in another European city. Think again. No, here in the Netherlands, nobody's going to pay for your costs if you don't have an insurance. And again, the EHIC is only for emergencies. So if you have an emergency, like you break your leg, you need to be operated on, well, those costs are covered because those costs are emergencies. But if you need to have physiotherapy after that, those costs won't be covered. And of course, your university wants you to be insured and they have certain requirements. Check them with your university because it's important that you are not faced with surprises. The Aon Student Insurance Coverage, we have two packages. We have the Aon Start Plus package and we have the Aon Complete Plus package. And the difference between the two packages is that the Start Plus is a supplement coverage in addition to the European Health Insurance Card or the basic healthcare insurance, and is excluded pre-existing conditions. The Aon Complete Plus insurance offers you full coverage for all medical consults, like inpatient, outpatient treatment, so going to a doctor, if you get admitted to a hospital, going to a specialist, all examinations that need to be done are covered as long as it's medically necessary. So that's the difference between the Aon Start Plus and the Aon Complete Plus insurance. Medicine is also covered, as I said, under the Aon Complete Plus insurance and also under the Aon Start Plus insurance, but because it is an additional coverage, you always have to ask your reimbursement at your own, go to your own EHIC insurer in your home country. If they don't pay, you can come to us and we will pay for those costs. Medicine is covered, but only medicine that you can receive on prescription by a doctor. So over-the-counter medicine like paracetamol or cough syrup or vitamin tablets are not covered. Those you can buy without a prescription in a drugstore or at a supermarket. But of course, if you need to have antibiotics, which is prescribed by a doctor, that will be covered under the insurance. Then both packages cover urgent dental treatment. Urgent dental treatment is when you wake up one morning and you have a problem with your teeth. You got an infection and it's necessary for you to go to a dentist. You can do so, and you will have coverage up until €350 per insurance year. If you wish to go to a dentist for regular checkups or to the mouth hygienist, that's of course also possible, but won't be covered under the insurance. So be aware of that. Then there is extra travel costs and repatriation. Repatriation in case there is a life-threatening situation with family members in the first or second degree, like father, mother, brother, sister, grandparents. You can go back home and we will pay for those costs. The other way around works as well. So if there's a life-threatening situation with one of the students who have the insurance and it's necessary for a family to come over, they can do so, and we will pay for that up until €7,000. Lastly, under repatriation is also covered the transportation of an insured person's remains to another to their home country. Unfortunately, every year it happens that a student perishes and needs to be and their remains needs to be transported back to their home country. And you may think, why do they insure that? Well, I will tell you, because there's a lot of red tape involved, which we can help you with, but more importantly, those costs are very, very high. It's between 10,000 and 20,000 euros to transport a person's remains back to its own country. So if you have to pay for that, if your family has to pay for that, that's quite a load to bear, apart from all the stress they already have. Then there's a coverage for baggage during travel. This insurance covers you worldwide. And of course, you guys are here in the Netherlands, maybe you all want to travel a little bit, then you don't have to take out additional travel insurance because you are insured abroad as well. Your personal items in your home are covered, like laptops, clothes, things you have. And if there's a flood, a fire, or a burglary, you will receive a reimbursement from us for your belongings. In all cases, it's necessary to file a police report because we do need that. And then there's an accident coverage, a legal assistant coverage, and last but not least, a liability coverage. And liability is a very important one. Because you guys may be riding a bicycle here in the Netherlands during your studies. If you accidentally bump into a person or you damage a car and they have damage, they can hold you liable for that. And if you're not covered for that, you will have to pay again out of your own pocket. The premium for the Aon Start Plus insurance is approximately €25, not approximately, it's around €25 per month. You can take out the insurance for as long as you need it during your studies. We calculate a premium per day. So if you need the insurance for, let's say, 6 months and 5 days, you take it out for 6 months and 5 days. The Aon Complete Plus insurance is €53.70 per month and works the same. You take it out for as long as you need to have it. We recommend you take it out for the length of your study here in the Netherlands. Of course, COVID-19 is covered by the insurance as well. So if you get infected with COVID-19, all medical expenses will be covered. If you need to be medically repatriated to another hospital, because there are not enough beds in one hospital, or the local healthcare is not sufficient. We will pay for that as well. Of course, there are some things that are not insured, and one of those things is commercial COVID-19 tests and commercial vaccinations are not covered. If you need to have a commercial test done because you are going to travel, or you need to be vaccinated because you travel, those things are not covered under this insurance. The COVID-19 tests, however, can be done without any cost. You can go to the GGD, that's the governmental body here in the Netherlands that supplies COVID-19 tests, and you can do that with them. However, it's not valid for a commercial flight, so you need to bear that in mind. Vaccinations are also free of charge here, so everybody who wants a vaccination can make an appointment with the GGD and go there. If you by any chance need to quarantine because of COVID-19 measures, those costs won't be covered under the insurance either, so you will have to pay those out of your own pocket. And what is not covered in the insurance? Well, it is an insurance. We cover a lot, but some things, of course, are not covered. What is not covered? Damages caused by the abuse of substances like alcohol and drugs. So if you damage something or somebody, and we find out that you have used drugs and alcohol, there won't be a reimbursement. You will have to pay costs out of your own pocket. The same goes for damages that were caused on purpose and damages that were caused by reckless behavior. For instance, you are driving a scooter and the scooter limit is, the scooter speed limit is 30 kilometers per hour and you're driving 100 kilometers per hour and you damage somebody. Well, that's reckless behavior. If you misrepresent facts, so if you don't answer our questions honestly and we find out, the damages won't be reimbursed to you, so we won't pay you back for that. Medical procedures that can be postponed until you're back in your home country can be, as decided by a medical doctor. If you, for instance, are here only for 10 days more and you need to have a medical procedure, and it is possible to wait until you are back home and the medical doctor decides that, then it won't be done here, but it will be done in your home country. Preventive medicine, preventive checkups, and preventive procedures are also not covered. Not covered in the Aon student insurance, and as I said before, over-the-counter medicine like paracetamol and cough syrup and vitamin things are not covered in the insurance and are for your own expense. Well, I hope you guys already purchased the insurance. But if you're not, do it as soon as possible, because it's very important you have one. Again, as I said, there's nobody here who's going to pay for your costs if you don't have an insurance. And for neither of the insurances, you need a BSN number. So you can take it out, immediately after this webinar, or do it tonight. Go to our website, aonstudentinsurance.com, and we recommend you take the insurance out for the length of your study here in the Netherlands, because what sometimes happens is that students have the insurance and then they receive a reminder email from us to extend their insurance. They forget it, and you will always see when you don't have an insurance, then something happens. And unfortunately, if you don't have an insurance, we cannot help you. So be aware of that and take it out. After you apply for the insurance, you can go to the, well, as I said, to the website. You apply there. We will ask you some questions, and if you answer those questions correctly, we will give you the right insurance advice for your own personal individual situation. After you have done that, you'll receive the policy documents in your email box. You will have your own online portal in which you can make changes, like changes for addresses, type of payment, extend the insurance, end the insurance. Whatever you want to do, you are in charge of your own insurance, and you can do it all online. Our payment options are flexible. You can either pay per month if you want, you can pay per year, or you can pay everything at once. And you can pay through direct debit. That is, then we will collect the money from your bank account, or you can pay by credit card, Visa and MasterCard, or the Dutch Ideal by a payment link we will send you, and you click on that and then you pay us. We won't send you a payment confirmation because your payment confirmation will be on your statement, either your bank statement or the statement of your credit card. That's your proof of payment, and you can also see that in your portal. Then, if you guys are planning to work here in the Netherlands, we recommend, well, no, not recommend, but you are obligated to take out the Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance. That is by law. You are obligated to do that by law. Because once you start a part-time job, and you pay taxes through your salary slip, so your salary letter each month, you become eligible for the Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance. If you think I'm not going to do that, well guys, think again, because if you don't take out the insurance, the SVB and the CAK, that are two Dutch governmental organizations, will send you a letter. What they do is they connect details, personal details of people who work here and who don't have the Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance. The tax office has proof of you paying taxes and is in connection with the CAK and the SVB. They can see, well, hey, this person is paying taxes, but the person doesn't have a Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance. Then they will send you, firstly they will send you a letter asking you to take out a Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance. If you fail to do that, they will send you another letter, and in that letter there will be a fine. The fine is 400 euros and you need to pay that fine. If you still refuse to take out the Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance, they will send you another fine. And we've had students who had fines up until 2,000 euros. So I really would like to stress to you guys, once you have a part-time job, go to our website. You can apply for the Aon student of the Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance there, and you can stop your Complete Plus insurance if you want. Well, not if you want to, but if you have the Basic Healthcare Insurance, you can stop one insurance and take out the Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance. The same goes for an internship. Are you going to do an internship for which you are going to earn more than the Dutch minimum wage? Then you are obligated to take out the Dutch Basic Healthcare Insurance. Switch online, go to our website, apply for the insurance. The costs are approximately 115 euros per month. And there is a mandatory deductible of 385 euros, which means that the first 385 euros you will have for healthcare costs, you have to pay out of your own pocket. These amounts are set by the government. They are not set by healthcare insurers, but it's set by law. That's quite a high premium for only the basic healthcare you can have, but because you are students, you can apply for healthcare allowance, and you can do that through the tax office. We recommend, if you have the Dutch basic healthcare insurance, to take out the Start Plus insurance as well, because with the basic healthcare insurance you only have health covered. You don't have your household stuff covered. You don't have liability covered. So we recommend you do that, but that's up to you, of course. If you don't earn more, get more than the Dutch minimum wage for your internship, you can just keep your Aon student insurance, which is €53.70 per month. Bear in mind that you are not eligible for healthcare allowance for the Aon student insurance. That's only for the Dutch basic healthcare insurance. And for the Aon student insurance, again, you do not need a BSN number. For the Dutch basic healthcare insurance, on the other hand, you do need a BSN number. Then the healthcare system here in the Netherlands. What to do when you need a doctor. The system here may be different than you're used to in your home country. Here in the Netherlands, we have a gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is called the general practitioner, in Dutch the huisarts. Here in the Netherlands, we don't go to the hospital directly if there is a problem, or if you have, let's say a tummy ache or your throat is hurting. No, you contact the GP. When you are here, you can register with the GP depending on the university you're from. Most universities and universities of applied sciences have cooperations with certain GPs. I would recommend, I would advise you to ask them with what kind of doctors they have cooperations, and you can contact that doctor and subscribe with them. Once you have subscribed with a GP, or you have contacted a GP, if there's a problem, you wake up one morning, you have a tummy ache, and you think, well, I need to see a doctor. You contact the GP, you go to the GP, and the GP will decide on further actions. They will decide whether if it's necessary for you to go to a specialist, or that the GP is going to treat you themselves. The GP is a fully qualified general doctor. So if you are treated by the GP, you are treated by a doctor. If it's necessary for you to be referred to a specialist, the GP will give you a referral. And with that referral, you make an appointment in the hospital. If you need to be reimbursed, well, not if, you are going to be reimbursed for your for the costs made by the specialist, and you can do that by uploading your invoices into the system. I will explain about that later on. It is necessary for you to be reimbursed to have a referral from the GP. Without a referral from the GP, we cannot reimburse you. So keep that in mind. Always need a referral from the GP when visiting a specialist. And then one last thing, here in the Netherlands we are very set on doing things on time. So if you have a appointment with anybody, but especially with healthcare providers, make sure you are there 10 minutes in advance at least. Because if you come late, they will cancel your appointment. And if they cancel your appointment, you won't be able to visit the doctor that day, but they will charge you. And if you didn't show up and you are charged, you cannot claim that with us. But more importantly, it's very important that you are helped. So if you cannot make it, give them a call and reschedule. If you want to apply for the Aon Student Insurance, you can go online, of course. Go to aonstudentinsurance.com, fill out the questions we ask you, and as I said before, we will give you the right insurance advice for your own personal situation. And once you have the insurance and you want to claim something with us, you go to your online portal. Go to the section File a Claim, follow the questions we ask you, follow the procedures, upload your invoice, and we will reimburse you on your bank account. If you have any questions, you can also contact us, of course, but moreover, you can, in case of emergencies, like hospitalization, extensive medical treatment, or you're expecting high bills, call Aon Assistance. The number is on your insurance card, and they can help you, and they will give the hospital, for instance, a guarantee of payment. For general questions, you just contact our office, and the numbers will be on the next slide. Here it is, service and contact. In case of an emergency, you can contact Aon Emergency Center. The number, as I said, is on your insurance card. For general questions, you can always contact my colleagues from the Aon student team. You can, of course, mail us. And you can chat with us, but of course you can also find all the details on our website, which has lots of information about everything that I have informed you about in this presentation. Well, that was the presentation. I hope it gave you some insight in how the system works here in the Netherlands. Yeah. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them.
Yes. Hey, it's Rob here from the back. I just wanted to maybe briefly go back to this slide to maybe address some questions that I saw coming in about the reimbursement process. So people are wondering when do I need? How does it work? Do I just show up at the doctor and they will cover everything, or do I need to submit a claim myself? And what happens, for example, if I have an accident, so high costs?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you can make an appointment with a general practitioner, and in most cases, if you go to a GP from campus, then the invoice will be sent to us, and you don't have to pay anything. If you are referred to a hospital, so to a specialist, you will always receive a invoice, and that invoice you can upload in the system, and we will either reimburse you if you want to, or reimburse the hospital directly. Of course, you can also contact our claims office here in the Netherlands if you have specific questions regarding the coverage of your insurance. And then there were
basically, also what people are wondering is what if something really bad happens?
What they should do. Well, of course, if you have an emergency, like you think you are having a heart attack, or you got into an accident, call the emergency number 112. That's the ambulance, or ask someone to call that for you. And if that emergency happens, of course, you don't contact us directly. Afterwards, we will contact it, and those costs, of course, are covered by the insurance. If there is an emergency, like you need to go back home, you need to fly back home, you can call the Aon Assistance number. But in all cases, if you have an emergency, like you fall sick or you have an accident, you call 112. Or if it's not such an emergency, but you think you need a doctor, you can call your general practitioner as well. If you call them and it's after working hours, you will get a tape stating, or a voicemail stating what the emergency number is for the GPs during the night or during the weekend, and then you can contact them too.
All right, I'm quickly reading through because we saw some questions coming in.
Yeah.
So some people are maybe wondering, for example, L is mentioning that they have a private Spanish insurance,
Yes.
not a European health insurance
No.
card. What do you do in that kind of situation? And you already have a policy.
Yeah, well, you already have a policy. First of all, you need to check with the private healthcare insurer in your home country how much they will pay here in the Netherlands, because it's very important to know that, as I said in the beginning, healthcare costs are quite high here in the Netherlands, and they may be higher than what you're used to in your home country. So maybe your private healthcare provider pays, let's say, 50 euros for a specialist consult, whereas in the Netherlands that's approximately 80 euros. So then it could be that you need to pay 30 euros out of your own pocket. So first of all, make sure how much is covered here in the Netherlands for you. Then secondly, how the payment is done if you go to a doctor. Do you need to pay upfront, or is your healthcare insurer going to send the money in advance to you, or do you do it afterwards? Those things are very important, because if you go to a healthcare provider here in the Netherlands without a Dutch insurance, they will most of the times ask you to pay upfront. So that's very important. And of course, if you want to, or you think you're not insured sufficiently with your private healthcare provider, you can always go to the website and apply for an additional insurance.
All right. So L also mentioned that they cover 30K, and I also see a question coming in by someone else who also has a home country insurance.
Yeah.
In that case, I would say you can always contact us as well.
Yeah, that's also possible.
To get more specific advice than we can give you right now during this this session.
Of course, yeah. If you have questions, specific questions you would like to ask us, contact my colleagues, and then we can look into your situation and see what's the best option for you.
Exactly. Okay, I see, I'm scrolling up again. Serkan asks, which one covers psychiatric psychiatry and ADHD drugs? And I saw some questions as well about maybe mental health care. Yeah. Could you maybe talk a bit about that?
The Aon Complete Plus insurance is the insurance that covers pre-existing medical conditions as well, including psychological help. If you take out that insurance, you will have coverage for 9 psychological consults per year. And if you need medicine that you are already using in your home country, then you can get your reimbursement from us if you have the Aon Complete Plus insurance. You do need, however, a prescription from a Dutch doctor to get the medicine here and to get your reimbursement. But that will be covered only under the Complete Plus insurance.
All right. I see another question, and it came up several times, is Julian asks if there is maybe coverage as well for a full dental treatment.
No, unfortunately, we don't have that coverage. We have only as I said, an emergency coverage of 350 euros per year. If you want to have a full dental coverage, I would suggest you go online and look for a cover. I have to say that if you only want a dental coverage for going, to do a checkup and to do to clean your teeth, I would suggest you pay that out of your own pocket, because a dental insurance is quite expensive here in the Netherlands. So calculate the costs by finding that out through internet, what the costs are you want to make, and look how much it will cost to have a dental insurance. That's what I would recommend, but we don't have that to take that out.
All right. The L is asking another question, and it's basically about the home insurance again.
Yeah.
If we take your insurance, why should we keep the local or home insurance then still? So it's basically again about making that choice between
Home insurance.
keeping your home insurance
Yeah.
versus the product you might have.
Well, I don't know if you still have a home a room or an apartment back in your home country. If you do have that, I would suggest you keep your home insurance in your country, in your own country. If you don't, well, then it's a choice. Then it's a choice you make. I would stop that insurance because it's not necessary to pay double, but it depends on your situation.
Yes. And again, if you want to have the specifics on maybe your own policy and compare it to what we offer, it's also always a good idea to reach out through email, and
Exactly.
then we can help you with the specifics.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's see. I'm scrolling back again. There's Henrik who asks if you need to have a BSN for the Complete Plus insurance, and if you need to have a BSN to register for a GP. And secondly, that's a question I saw a lot, how do you register for a GP?
Yeah. First of all, for the Aon student insurance, you do not need a BSN number. That is, registering at the municipality. If you want to register with a GP, I think it's not necessary. No, I know it's not necessary to have a BSN number because you can register with private insurances as well. And for private insurances, you don't need a BSN number. And the last question was?
Is if you need a BSN to register at family doctor, and how does that work to register?
Oh, to register with a family doctor, yeah. Well, what you do is that you, again, I would recommend you go to the university, to the international office, and ask them if they have campus doctors, campus GPs, because lots of universities have that. And then if they don't, you can ask them to help you to find a doctor in the neighborhood where you live. What you do is that you call the doctor, you explain your situation, that you're an international student, you have, for instance, the Aon student insurance, and you want to register. They will probably make an appointment with you and ask you to come over to meet you and to ask you some questions so that they can make a file of you. Once they've done that, you are registered. If they don't register you, but they say you can contact me whenever there is something wrong, then you also have a GP which you can contact. So then if you have, a problem, a medical problem one morning or one evening, whatever, you contact the doctor, the GP, and you make an appointment and you go there. That's how the system works.
All right. I see some questions about maybe when you go home.
Yes.
And related to that, where is the insurance actually valid? If you buy it for your trip in the Netherlands, how does it work? Yeah.
The Aon student insurance provides you with a worldwide coverage. If you go back home, you have, for a holiday, for instance, you have coverage for 8 weeks. So you don't need to stop the insurance. You are covered when you are in your home country as well for 8 weeks during vacations, holidays, whatever. If you are going to another country for, a weekend, then you have cover as well. If you are going to do an internship in another country, you have, as part of your study, you have coverage as well under the insurance, so you don't need to stop the insurance. That's how it works.
All right. And I see another question coming in. If you're already in the Netherlands, can you still apply for the insurance?
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, you can do it at any time. We do recommend you do it as soon as possible because we expect students who came to the Netherlands to take out the insurance within, a month after they arrived. If you still have an EHIC insurance and you want to take out the supplement insurance of the Start Plus, and your EHIC expires after 3 months, of course you can take out the Complete Plus then. If you want to take out the Complete Plus only, you need to do it within a month after arriving in the Netherlands.
All right. I saw a question. It's a very good question that we see quite often. Let's say you already are using some medication.
Yes.
How does it work if you already have a prescription, for example? Can you still get that coverage here in the Netherlands?
Yeah, if you have the Complete Plus insurance, then you have coverage for pre-existing conditions. So also medication that you use. What you do need, however, is a prescription from a Dutch doctor here in the Netherlands. So then you need to go to the GP and you need to ask the GP to give you a prescription for the medicine that you are already using back in your home country. And the doctor will probably ask you some proof of that prescription. So make sure you have that. But in all cases, it will be covered. But you do need a prescription from a Dutch doctor.
All right. Brendan, I'm scrolling back up again, and Brendan asks if the Complete Plus and the basic health insurance care cover, if they cover the same amount, or are there differences?
The basic healthcare insurance is a basic coverage you have here in the Netherlands, and they cover all doctors' fees, specialist fees, things like that. But it's only medical. The Aon Complete Plus insurance has a very extensive medical insurance, which is broader than the Dutch basic healthcare insurance, because we also cover physiotherapy and a part of emergency dental insurance. Psychological help is covered. And some of those things are not covered in the basic healthcare insurance. Plus, because the Aon Complete Plus is a package insurance, it also covers other things like liability, like travel costs back home, like legal aid, things like that are not covered under the basic healthcare insurance.
All right. I think looking at the time, I think we're going to close off this session. So
leaves me to thank you for watching this webinar. I hope it gave you some information about insurances. I wish you all the luck with your studies here in the Netherlands. If you have questions, just contact us, and enjoy your time in the Netherlands, but be safe. Thank you very much from Rob and me.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.